Hey guys, make sure you let me know you're here. Say hi, so I can take a little roll. I see someone out there. Let me know who you are. Laura, Oscar, hi. Miss Pacheco, gotcha. Oscar Ramirez, how you doing? Miss Mondal, Oscar Ramirez. I'm good, man. In the garage right now. Got the beats going. Just waiting for people to log in. Sean Thornton, what's going on, my man? Mondal, I got you. Is it Sophia? Can you phonetically type that out so I know I don't butcher that if I end up calling you out? Got more people logging in here, hopefully in the next minute or two. Bailey, what's going on? How you doing? Remember to, as you log in, let me know, say hi so I can take roll. Got my little roll sheet here. Let's give everyone a couple minutes here. While you're waiting, go ahead and if you can split screen it, I'm going to do that myself right now. I got Canvas opened up. There is a graphic. If you go into your module, just click on the page that's entitled Week 2 Dimensions of Wellness, and there's a little graphic there about some of the things that we're going to talk about. I'm good, Bailey. I'm good. I had a rough day. But I made it. I'm here. The kids are inside eating root beer floats, waiting for me to hang out with them. But I told them I got class, man. I gotta do class first. Rocio, Edgar, I got you. Pete, what's going on? Pete, my day's good, man. I mean, even though it's a rough day, it's done. It's almost done, right? I mean, to me, this is the easy part. This isn't hard, right? So I'm gonna be all right, dude. I'm gonna be all right. So Peter, I got you. Alexander, Alex Garcia, got you, brother. I got you. Monica, Curiel, how are you? Got you. Just waiting on a few more people. Maria, Blanca, Anthony Marin. Google wanted all my information to make an account. I was here last Tuesday too. Sent you an email. I'm sure you did. I've been getting pounded with emails, dude. Pounded with emails. And I'll talk a little bit about that before we get going here. I just want to give the remaining, I don't know, 5 people or so a chance to log in before we get going on too much information. And I should probably turn the music off too. Huh? Anthony, I got you. Okay. We're waiting on a handful of people. If you have any questions while we're waiting, go ahead and fire away. I mean, I know it, like I said, I've been getting a ton of emails, which sometimes, to be completely honest with you, they bother me because a lot of it's about things that have been said or people begging for a chance to submit a late assignment. But it's totally appropriate during class time to ask any questions, right? Any relevant questions to the class or to the process, whatever question you got, go ahead and fire away now if you want to. Waiting on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 people. Come on, people. Come on. There's someone else. Remember, when you log in, go ahead and say hi, throw out a question, whatever, say what's up. I am taking roll. Okay. We're going to give the laggers one more minute before we get going here. Again, if you're just logging in, go ahead and if you can split screen, go ahead and open up your Canvas and go to the page, week 2, dimensions of wellness, and that'll give you a pretty good idea about what we're going to be talking about here tonight, and even next week a little bit. All right, we're going to give them about 30 more seconds here. We got 12 people here, so I'm good to go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, we got that 12th person that hasn't checked in. I got everyone so far. Let me know. Yeah, I got everyone. Laura Pacheco, the first one to log in. Not a baby. Okay, let's get rolling and let the laggers be. Laggers, let me know you're here. Send me a comment. Let me know so I got you on my roster. I can get you checked off. Okay. First item of business. It'll be a rare situation that I allow you more time to finish your assignments. A rare situation. And the reason being is the school was really emphasizing the fact that we need to be conducting class during class time. That's essentially what remote teaching is. They made it very clear to us. It's not an online class in the sense of, there are classes that are taught in an online format. They said this is remote teaching. So this is significantly different in the sense that we are actively meeting during class time. Most of your teachers are doing Zoom. I spent a lot of time on Zoom. I didn't like it at all. So I thought this was probably a good way to go. And for the most part, the way I like to do it, I like to get in and get out. Get in, get that information, boom, give you assignment, we're done. Okay, so tonight, your assignments will close. You have 2 assignments due tonight. The first one, I will give you a question during the lecture. I don't expect you to answer it during the lecture. You can. You don't have to. That assignment will close at midnight tonight. There's also another assignment that is due today. It's a question regarding the same material. That is due at midnight tonight as well, right? So a little flexibility as far as not necessarily have to, get it done at 9:30 because that's technically when our class ends or that kind of stuff. But you do have 2 assignments tonight. So make sure you're staying on top of it, right? Sending me the email, hey, can I turn it in? I was babysitting, or hey, I went to dinner. That's not going to fly, right? It's just not going to fly. So make sure that you are staying on top of your work and understand that every Tuesday night we're going to do this for roughly, 20 minutes or so. Blanca, I got you. That's all right. A little late, but you're here. Blanca. What's your last name, Blanca? Ruiz. I got you, Blanca. You're good. each night we're going to do a little bit of this, right? A little bit of kind of hands-on. I got you, Blanca. A little bit of hands-on lecture, and then you'll have your 2 assignments, and then we're done. That's pretty much it. Okay, with that said, let's roll. Here we go. Overall wellness. Where do we start? We start with the fact that first and foremost, your health is in flux, right? Your health is not something that's constant. Your health varies on the amount of water you're taking in, amount of exercise, amount of nutrients, so on and so forth. There's a lot of things that contribute to your health. The other thing is, as we talked about last week, kind of the nature versus nurture component of understanding the human experience. The nurture part is probably more significant in the opinion of most biologists, physiologists, psychologists. Most of them kind of adhere to the philosophy that you have a larger effect on your health via the environment than you do your genetic predisposition. Okay, now that's not necessarily true for all people. There are some people that are genetically, they're going to get cancer. They're going to die prematurely. Something's going to happen, right? But by and large, the average person out there, if they're controlling their environment the best they can, i.e. a good diet, exercise, things of that nature, maintaining good relationships, that has a far greater impact on your overall health and your lifespan than does your genetic code, which is great. That means you control your destiny to a certain extent. So with that said, we're going to go over 3 of the dimensions of wellness. We're going to start with probably what I think is the most important, and that's the physical aspect. So when we talk about physical wellness, we talk about someone who practices good physical wellness. Hi, Maria. Daniel Quake, got you. When we talk about physical wellness, it goes without saying that exercise is probably the most important thing you can do. And a lot of people, when we get into the health and fitness component, a lot of people will ask me, well, what's the best exercise? I hear that you should, lift instead of run, or, is this lift good for this and all that kind of stuff. The bottom line is the best exercise is the exercise you're willing to do, right? So exercise. Number 2, eat well. Right? I didn't say eat perfect. I said eat well. And that's a loaded question or a loaded statement. And I don't want to put the cart in front of the horse and start talking about what it means to eat well. But I will say this. There are very few things that you should consume on a daily basis. Right? What do I mean by that? Cereal. Or let me put it this way. I have people all the time ask me, is milk healthy? Well, yeah, sure, it's healthy. It does have sugar. There are some people who are lactose intolerant. It is an animal product. And if you have and the bottom line is milk is a processed food. And if you have a diet that's heavy in processed foods, then I would probably be inclined to tell you that no, milk is not good for you. If you are someone who's very physically active, you have a well-rounded diet, you get a lot of fruits and vegetables, a lot of grains and legumes and beans, a lot of lean meats, and you're eating well, I think a glass of milk a couple times a week is perfectly healthy, right? So eating well has its limitations, and it has its caveats, which we'll get into later on in the semester. But eating well is a very important component of physical wellness. Practicing safe sex. Yes, crucial. Ladies, the bottom line is it's very possible that you make a decision when you're 18 that can affect you when you're 35. There are a number of sexually transmitted diseases that are significantly worse for women than they are for men, and cause essentially pelvic inflammatory disease. The condom, and we'll get into this in our next module, but the condom reduces STDs. Depending on the type of STD that you're talking about, it can reduce some STDs by 50%, and it can reduce a lot of STDs by 80%, right? And for those of you who live in Santa Maria, North Santa Barbara County, you have a 1 in 2 chance of contracting an STD if you have unprotected sex, right? That's via the county health department. So that's a pretty significant stat to think about, right? So if you are having sex, especially if you're having sex with multiple partners, in other words, you're not in a monogamous relationship, I would definitely be wearing a condom, right? Or having your partner wear a condom, right? So practicing safer sex. Number one source of disease for people between the ages of 14 and 24. Recognizing the symptoms of disease, right? Recognizing ailments, being able to identify pain, identify why you have headaches, why you get tired, all of these types of things. That bump on the back of your neck, or that weird mole you have. Those can be hard to recognize because you're not a doctor, which leads me to the next point. Someone who practices good physical wellness gets regular checkups. And the bottom line is, with the onset of Obamacare or Covered California, whatever you want to call it, most of you, almost all of you, I would say, have access to healthcare. And yeah, it's not right there in front of you. You got to go out and work for it a little bit. You got to apply. You got to call and make appointments. You got to sit in the waiting room next to all the people that are coughing and hacking all over the place. It's kind of gross. But the bottom line is, especially if you're sexually active, especially if you're a female, you should be getting an annual checkup that includes a PAP, right? But even guys, I mean, the bottom line is testicular cancer is a young person's cancer. If you're a male, by the time you're age 35, if you haven't had testicular cancer, you're pretty much out of the woods on that. You're by and large, statistically, you're not going to get it. So even like just getting that annual physical, and as you get older, like reaching all the health benchmarks and all the screening that you're supposed to have. I mean, by the time you're 40, you should be getting a cholesterol check annually. By the time you're 45, 50, they're going to want to do a colonoscopy. They're going to want to check your prostate. Ladies, you're going to need a mammogram. These are important to get, right? And because you can't necessarily recognize the symptoms of something like cancer because they're not always out there, not always easily identifiable, getting regular checkups is very important. And then lastly, with physical wellness, avoiding injuries, right? And more importantly, taking care of your injuries. I can't tell you how many guys I know that hurt their back on a motorcycle or a shoulder playing baseball, or a knee, lifting weights, and they never got it taken care of. And now when they go out and play hoops with their kids in the front yard, they can't do it, right? Or they have a hard time. Just lifting their kids up, right? Bending over, picking up, some groceries out of the car, or whatever it is. So make sure that you're getting those checkups. Make sure that you're taking care of those injuries. But again, physical wellness, eating well, exercising, practicing safe sex, recognizing the symptoms of disease, getting regular checkups, and taking care of your injuries. Okay, number 2, emotional wellness. There's a couple of components of emotional wellness that are pretty obvious, right? I mean, obviously, if you're going to be someone who's level-headed and is doing emotionally well, you're going to have a pretty good sense of humor, particularly about your shortcomings, about, the times when you make mistakes. You got to be able to laugh at yourself, be willing to fix it, be willing to correct your mistakes, but more importantly, not just be too down on yourself. With that comes a sense of optimism. In other words, your negative days don't snowball. You have the ability to turn a negative day around or a negative situation around, and it doesn't snowball into having a completely, crappy day. and destroying other relationships or destroying relationships around you that you have with people that you care about. Appropriate self-esteem, right? Enough confidence to speak up for yourself, and enough confidence to know when to be quiet, right? Enough confidence when to know when to walk away, right? To not be abrasive, to not be confrontational. That takes emotional strength. But I think the linchpin in this is in other words, if you are someone who's emotionally well, you are someone who knows how to cultivate an intimate relationship. And I don't necessarily mean sexually, although it can be sexually. What I mean is you have people around you that you trust, that trust you, that you can be honest with, even when it's not a positive comment or a positive situation. How many people do you call your friend, and how many people call you their friend, right? If you look at, let's say, people who are in rehab for, let's say, drug or alcohol abuse, they are oftentimes put into a situation where they are required to take care of something, and most likely an animal, right? So a lot of times they're given like a dog, a cat, a horse, or something to take care of. And the reason being is because when you can cultivate a relationship, you build a skill set that allows you to take care of someone else. And it's the same exact skill set that allows you to take care of yourself, right? So there's a lot of emotional wellness in just having positive, good relationships with the people around you. And it takes a lot of emotional strength to break free from the relationships that aren't positive for you, right? So again, emotional wellness, optimism, self-esteem, a sense of humor, but I think most significantly is the ability to cultivate an intimate relationship. That's very important. Okay, and then lastly, the last topic of our lecture here is intellectual wellness. What are the characteristics of someone who practices good intellectual wellness? You're doing it right now, right? Educating yourself, being open to new ideas, trying to take those ideas and implement them in your life, or take that education and use it as a tool to get better in life. Those are characteristics of someone who is doing intellectually progressive stuff. And that's what you should be looking for. You should be looking for progress in the knowledge department, progress in the achievement department. You shouldn't, and some of you probably are, or some of you probably will be, you shouldn't be in Hancock for 4 or 5 years. Now some of you may have a plan, and that may include being at Hancock for that long, but a lot of the kids I see that are at Hancock for 4 or 5 years they're kind of 1 foot in, 1 foot out. There's not a lot of achievement going on, not a lot of progress going on. So make sure that, like, when you do this, do it. Put your nose to the grindstone and freaking do it. Don't be like, oh, I'm just going to take 6 units because I'm going to work. Dude, get in and get out. Get the paper, because the bottom line is a junior college degree, community college degree, in the long term doesn't necessarily do much for you. The end result of you having that community college education can do a lot for you. And I'm not knocking Hancock or any community college or even going that route. It's a great route to go, but it's not where you start, it's where you end, right? So, and for many of you, this is just the beginning. So intellectual pursuit is also just achievement, right? Knocking off one by one the classes, the homework, the assignments, boom, every night, boom, 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 getting it done. In that discipline, you grow smarter. Why? Because you learn about the process. You learn about yourself. You learn what you're good at and what you're not good at. So just that sense of wanting to achieve wanting to do well is an intellectual pursuit. And it doesn't really matter if it's necessarily academically related or not, right? I would encourage you to find something that you can do well and do it well every day. Do it well as much as you possibly can, because when you start to find success builds success, right? I see this with athletes all the time. They'll take the skill set that they learned from lifting every day and running and throwing or whatever it is, and they start to apply those to their academic life or other parts of their life. That same kind of everyday grind. Here's my goals. Here's what I'm going to do. Boom, 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 boom. And it breeds achievement. It breeds success. So again, being open to ideas, right? Being open to, to questioning yourself, questioning the stuff I'm telling you. Good, honest, intellectual questions are never a bad thing, right? They're never a bad thing. But I think the most important thing with intellectual wellness is very, very important, I think, for a lot of people your age. I mean, this is a pretty young class, if I remember correctly. And a lot of you probably don't realize this, but I would tell you, no matter what you do with your education and what you do at Hancock or beyond, the most important thing you can do is master a skill, right? Master a skill. What do I mean by that? Let me use this for an example. I bank it at Chase, right? And as you probably all know, at the corner of Betaravia and Broadway, there's a Chase, right? 2-story, 3-story building. When I was growing up, when I was your age, if you walked into that bank, there's all the tellers are on the left-hand side. There's probably like 10 windows. When I was your age, they were all full, every single one of them. 10 windows, 10 tellers, a lot of people working those jobs. Well, go into Chase now. What do you see? I mean, the last time I went into Chase, this was like before COVID. I mostly do like all kind of online, virtual, whatever, not virtual, but you know what I mean? Online banking, bill pay, and all that kind of stuff. So I rarely go into the bank. But the last time I went into the bank, one teller. So I'm in my early 40s, right? You're 18. So what is that? Well, 20 some years. So in 20 years, by my math, there's a 90% reduction in bank tellers. Why? Okay. Now don't get hurt if you're a bank teller, and don't tell your mom if she's a bank teller, or your dad, or your girlfriend or cousin or whoever you know that's a bank teller. But it's a low skill job, right? It doesn't take a college degree. It doesn't necessarily take any type of specific skill. Now, I'm not saying that they're not skilled people or smart people who are working these jobs. A lot of them are very charismatic and they're very good at what they do. They're good with numbers. I mean, I get that. But what I'm saying is the low skilled jobs are disappearing. They're being taken over by automation, right? There's burger joints in LA that are now being ran fully with full automation. The machine patties the meat, makes the burger, puts everything together, and sends it out. Amazon now has grocery stores, right? And by the way, Amazon is buying more retail space right now. We're going to see Amazon grocery stores in the near future. And Amazon grocery stores have very few people working in them. Why? All their shelves have sensors. They have cameras everywhere. All you got to do is grab an item and put it in your basket, and the item, the virtual item, goes into your basket on your cell phone, right? And all you got to do is walk out of the building and bink, it charges your account. Amazon, Walmart, Target, they're all wiping out brick and mortar stores. These stores are slowly going away. I mean, just drive around Santa Maria. You'll see it here. And there's other stores that'll pop up. Hobby Lobby took over Toys R Us, and And you know, you see these all the time, but if you look closely enough, what you also see in a lot of these strip malls are vacant buildings, right? Vacant. There's no one there anymore. These low skilled, and I say that politely, these low skilled jobs are disappearing. They're going away. If you look at the jobs of the future, which hint, hint is going to be your assignment tonight, you will find out that the highest paying jobs in the next 15, 20 years, right? So by the time you guys are 40, 50 years old, the money is going to be in skilled labor. So what do I mean by that? Okay, so let's kind of fold this in and wrap this lecture up. Okay, so you're an art major. Okay, good for you, kinda. I mean, you're probably going to be the most educated barista at Starbucks. And I don't mean to stomp on your hopes and dreams, but the bottom line is there's just not a lot of money in art, right? There's not a lot of profit in art education. I'm not knocking if you want to do art. By all means, do art if that's what you love. But with that art major, get a skill. So maybe graphic design, right? So you love art history, and you like to make pottery. Beautiful. By all means, spin your wheel and do your thing. But be able to create a web page, right? Or do graphic design, medical billing, HVAC, plumbing, electrical, welding. Welding is huge. Diesel repair. Be someone who has a technical skill and knows how to work with high voltage and low voltage, circuitry, software programming, hardware, firmware development, medical billing. These jobs are the type of jobs that are going to be the best paying in the future, but more significantly, and I don't know if many of you have really seen this yet. I'm old enough to have seen it. I promise you, the economy will collapse at some point in your lifetime. And I'm not saying, oh my God, watch out, scramble, run. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is at some point, the economy will take a turn for the worse. And when that happens, companies downsize, right? And the first people they get rid of are the people who don't have a skilled job, right? Why? Because you're expendable. Right? You're expendable. So intellectual wellness, being open to new ideas, the capacity to question things, looking for progress, looking for achievement, just kind of, I look at it as you're barreling forward and you're taking all these things as they come to you and you're using that as momentum, right? So the things you learn in this class, your other classes, boom. It's all part of it, dude. Just keep that wheel rolling. Keep it going. Keep the mind in a progressive achievement mode. And don't forget to master a skill. Okay. Physical wellness, eat well, exercise, wear a condom, go to the doctor. Emotional wellness, have a sense of humor, have a little optimism in your life, and be a good friend, right? Develop a good, intimate relationship with someone you can trust. Intellectual wellness, open to new ideas, progress, achievement, and master that skill, okay? All right, here's your question, and I'm also, for your assignment, right? You have 2 assignments. One of them is to answer this question. The other assignment is in Canvas, and you'll see the question when you click on that. Both are due tonight by midnight, right? And I would do them now. I would do them right now, okay? Here's your question. I'm even going to type it in here. Okay, so Google the top 5 highest paid skilled labor jobs in America. List all 5 and explain each. There it is. Google the top 5 highest paid skilled labor jobs, not job, jobs in America. List all 5 and explain each. Okay, so regarding the assignments, okay, couple things. Well, really one thing. I had some people ask me about this and they weren't quite sure. So if you go to your module, right, overall wellness, it says 825 lecture question, right? You click on that and hello, okay. And what you're going to see is a submit assignment, right? You're going to see, well, I'm not seeing it right now because I'm actually in the teacher section of Canvas. But if you're going to have the student view, you're going to see a blue button up on the right-hand side that says submit assignment. So you click on that and that pops the screen for you to answer your question. Okay. So again, our question, Google the top 5 highest paid skilled labor jobs in America, right? List all 5 and explain each. So I promise you one of them is going to be HVAC, right? Some of you are going, huh? Exactly. So just write down HVAC dash or colon and explain what HVAC is, right? HVAC is one, Anthony. Yes, it is. Imagine that. I'll tell you what, it wouldn't be a bad idea to get an HVAC. Guys and gals, girls, don't think that's a man's job. You can do that job 100%. Because here's the deal. With this whole COVID thing, and now they're talking about the flu and double whammy. And by the way, the bubonic plague is back. They have found it again. There's other strains of the coronavirus. I mean, for Christ's sakes, malaria has killed, of all the people since the world has begun, malaria has killed like a quarter of the population of the world, right? What does that have to do with HVAC? I'll tell you what it has to do with HVAC. For 825 homework, it doesn't give you the question answer. I just gave you the question answer, Maria. I just gave you the question answer. So go to 825, click on submit assignment, and then you answer in there, okay? What does that have to do with HVAC? I'll tell you what it has to do with HVAC. They're going to start cleaning air like they never have before. All of these HVAC systems in all of the buildings, corporate America, business, all of these people are going to want some type of triple filtration or ultraviolet light in their air vents, cleaning the air that much more, right? HVAC it's on point, man. It's on point. You're going to make some money. And not only that, for those people who kind of go, about electrical and HVAC and you know, hey, maybe that's something I can do. I can tell you right now, the statistics will tell you that if you work for yourself, you have a higher chance of a larger income than if you work for someone else. All right. So go get certified in your HVAC and start your own business. Start your own business. Start now. Start now. You're 18, 19 years old. Hell yeah, dude. Start now, right now. By the time you're 30, you'll be able to buy a home on the Central Coast, right? You'll be able to buy a home in California, and that's a good thing. Okay. All right. 825 lecture question, right? The question is, Google the top 5 highest paid skilled labor jobs in America, list all 5 and explain each. You also have your assignment underneath the 825 lecture question. It says week 2 assignment number 1. If you read that, you're going to write a 1 to 2 paragraph response to the following prompt. The prompt is right there. Okay. Any questions? Anyone? Maria, did you get that figured out? I just read you the question, right? That's what every week's lecture is going to be. You're going to get a little lecture and then you're going to hear the question, right? And then you'll answer via Canvas. No questions? Going once, going twice. Okay, remember, do both of your assignments tonight. Email me if you have any questions. Are you looking for a specific 5? No, just Google it. Google it. And I get it. There may be some that are different. I'm fine with that. What's important here is when you're planning your education, it's a pretty good idea to go to, like, I don't know, the U.S. Department of Labor statistics and find out who's getting paid what, right? Find out who's getting paid what. Anthony, I pulled up top 5 skilled labor job. HVAC wasn't on there. That's cool. Whatever. I'm okay with that. You'll find out, Rocio, to explain what the job. Yeah, just define it. Like, what does an electrician do, right? Or what does a HVAC person do? Okay, Maria, you got it. Good. Anyways, I lost my train of thought. I had a long day. I'm fried. I'm tired. I'm sure you're tired of listening to me. It's been 40 minutes. This is terrible. Let's bang this thing. I'll see you next week. Deuces. If you have any questions, let me know. Later.